Crypto mining at home in 2025 is getting more and more challenging every single day, with increasing prices in electricity, increases in hash rate, and getting into some of these big ASIC miners is just not an option for a lot of people. They're power hungry, they're loud, and expensive. So today I'm going to take you through my best picks for your mini low power home ASIC miners that are actually making a profit. So we'll talk through the price, hash rate, efficiency, and my future projections as to how they will perform over the long term. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, so let's start off with a few IceRiver products. This is the Aleo AE0. It's an Aleo miner, or the ZK Snark algorithm. It's just come out. In fact, they're shipping as we speak on the first release. So these are the hot topic as far as the mini miners go at the moment. Let's check out the specs and price. So $799, so really reasonable for what they are. We'll get into the profits later. But as far as specs are concerned, hash rate, it's 60 mega hash a second, give or take 5%. That's going to be your silicon lottery for just 100 watts. So super, super low power, these things. And as we'll find out in a minute, very efficient. They're also compatible with 100 volt or 240 volts. So you can run this anywhere in the world. They run really, really quiet, and they also have inbuilt fans. So as you can see, there's no big loud fans that are going to be coming off them. So you won't even hear these at all. Now, profit. So as we can see at 10-cent electric rate USD, this currently is making $11.78. So really, really profitable right now. But this will change, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So as we said, 60 mega hash, 100 watts, and the efficiency, 1.67 joules per mega hash. That is what makes these crazy, crazy efficient. In fact, the most efficient Aleo miner you can buy right now. So a really, really good option if you're looking at getting into something small and low power. This AE1 Lite was the bigger brother, as you like to call it. So 300 mega hash, same amount of efficiency, but as opposed to the $800 that this was, I think the AE1 Lite is around $2,800. So in the spirit of budgets, this is not one of them. I guess budget, you know, how long's a piece of string? That is, that's up to you guys. So you can check those out if you want. I will have links, like I said, down in the description for you to check everything out. Now, price, back in September, $6.22, all the way down to 17 cents right now. So one way to look at it would be to say, what if it hits all-time highs again? It wouldn't really matter what the hash rate hit then. If you were mining with this for a month and it went back up to $6.50, you'd probably make your money back. But that is what we like to call hopium in the space. Even if you said it went back up to $1, a 5x, you know, 20% of the all-time highs, that could be possible. So while the hash rate is going to increase in these, I think there is a good chance that the price pump, if you can hold long enough, will alleviate this to some extent. But we've seen this story before with ASIC miners. Once that hash rate comes online, often the price never recovers with some of the older crypto mining algorithms, but we'll have to wait and see how this one pans out. Next up, again on IceRiver, the Kaspa KS7 Lite. So same sort of shipping date. These are the latest models coming out on the 15th of April, all the way up to the 30th of April is when to expect these to be shipped. And again, the price range is right on the same as the AE0, 800 bucks or thereabouts. You can save about 20 bucks with a coupon code, which I'll link for you, like I said. But checking out the specs on these now, obviously being the latest generation, it is the most efficient. So you're getting 4.2 terahash for 500 watts. So I think when the KS0s came out, they were 400 gigahash for 100 watts. So this is 10 times the hash rate for only 5 times the power. So as you can imagine, much, much more efficient. Same specs again, operating temperature up to 40 Celsius, 100 to 240 volts, can run it anywhere, and the box miner comes with inbuilt fans. Now I have a few of these box miners. These will run louder than the bricks, they're called, this style, but the inbuilt fans are quite low and will auto fan as well. So does it have sound specs on here? No, can't see them. So around 40 decibels, I'd imagine. Nothing to write home about. This could be something you could run in your house and you wouldn't have to worry about the noise. So next up, let's talk about the actual profit. So just under 40 cents right now at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Not a huge amount of profit, but a good way to stack some Kaspa if you want. So efficiency 120, just under 120 joules per terahash. And again, super efficient, amongst the most efficient in its class. You know, if we were to compare it to these KS5Ms and the KSO Ultra also, 250 joules per terahash versus 120 joules per terahash. So twice as efficient, which means you've got an option to stay online longer as the hash rate comes online. Again, pricing. So right now, just under 8 cents. So it's definitely well down from all-time highs, all the way back up to 20 cents. So it's more than 3 times down the price at the moment. So if the hash rate stayed the same, that 40 cents a day could realistically be 120 cents a day if you were to hold when the price pumps again. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of Kaspa. I have a bunch of Kaspa miners. I think we can get back up there. So will the hash rate increase come? Will the price return? That's up to you to decide. Make sure you do your own research before getting into any of this stuff. Switching brands now and switching algorithms. We are over here looking at the iPollo V2X. It's an Ethereum Classic miner. So coming in right at around 1,200 bucks. With my code, I think you save about 70 bucks on that. So putting it at about 1,120, a pretty hefty price still, but a really good Ethereum Classic miner if you're into Ethereum. So 165 watts it is putting out, and it's getting 1200 mega hash. So I remember back in the day when I was mining Ethereum itself, you know, a 1200 mega hash rig might be 8 or 9 cards and you'd be pulling 1,000 watts. So these have come a long way. Checking out some of the specs again. 50 decibels as far as noise. I don't have one of these personally, so I couldn't speak to whether it's higher or lower than that. Once again, the temperatures stay in the 40 Celsius range in the mining environment. Try and keep the humidity around it as low as possible. And around a 2 kilogram or just under weight. So it's a different sort of look, these ones, compared to the box miners. iPollo miners definitely look a little bit better. And Ethereum Classic's an oldie but a goodie. A lot of people have been on this for quite some time. So profitability just under $1 a day, 83 cents, give or take on the day. Sometimes it's up 5%, down 5%. You know how it goes with crypto mining and crypto coins. 165 watts, like we said, 1200 mega hash, and 0.14 joules per mega hash. So as far as profit, at current prices, $320. So you'd be looking at about a 4-year ROI if nothing changes on this. You can mine on NiceHash with it and get paid out in Bitcoin. You can mine Ethereum Proof of Work, Ethereum Classic, all different variations of the Ethereum Classic algorithm. And efficiency, once again, up amongst the class. It is one of the latest miners out, so 0.14 joules per mega hash, but slightly better than its bigger brother, the iPollo V2, and right around the same as the iPollo V2H. Now, these miners, again, the two bigger brothers are about 2, 3, 4, 5 times the price, depending on which one you want to look at. So again, the spirit of budget, this is definitely the best in its class as far as cost, dollar per hash. It's efficient, it's going to be low noise and low power. So a really good option. I'm pretty keen to get my hands on one of these. Now, as far as price is concerned, sitting right around $16.27 at the moment. And we can notice the all-time chart here for Ethereum Classic is much more choppy. So the all-time high right back up here, it's not going to tell us. $125. If we scroll down, $167 all-time high price. Currently worth $16.79. So a potential 10x if you have the hopium, but realistically, I think, you know, in the next bull run, whether that's in 4 years time or whether it's in 6 months time, you could maybe expect a 2x on this. I think Ethereum Classic is just a solid, stable project. But even still, if the price didn't move on it and it just kept peaking up and down like this, and you picked your timing, maybe a 2x for the next pump around the $35 range, increasing that ROI time, or shortening that ROI time, I should say. At the moment, at about $1 a day for a $1,200 unit, you know, you're looking at about a 4-year ROI or thereabouts. But maybe you cut that in half if you get yourself timed right and get that nice little pump and sell when you need to. Now, last but certainly not least, the VolcMiner D1 Mini. This is a Dogecoin miner, around $1,600. With the code, gets to around $1,520 or so. So definitely the most expensive, but a really, really good miner. Efficiency wise, we'll talk about that in a second. So specifications, 500 watts, 2.2 gigahash. So really, really good efficiency. Now it says the noise level here of around 75 decibels. I've got one of these. Check out some of the videos. In fact, I'll leave a card up above for you so you can check out that video on the VolcMiner D1 Mini if you want. It's not even close to 50 decibels. It's a standard box miner, maybe around the 40 range. It has the 2 inbuilt cards, inbuilt fans, like we said, so not a lot of noise coming out of this. But definitely plenty of weight in it, around the 4 to 6 kilo range, so you definitely will feel the weight of this thing when you pick it up. But it also comes with a 365-day warranty on Crypto Miner Bros, so this could give you a little bit of peace of mind if you were into Dogecoin mining and wanted to look at the D1 Mini. So looking at the profitability, right around the $1 range, $31 monthly, $378 yearly. So your revenue is obviously a lot higher than that, but these do use 500 watts. So there's a decent chunk of electricity that you will have to pay if you wanted to sell and stay profitable. Or you could hold and hope for one of those pumps and make a fair bit more than that. Again, you can mine the script algorithm on NiceHash and get paid out in Bitcoin, showing it's the most profitable right now. So a really, really good little unit. Look, the profits aren't huge on it if we compared it to the AE0, but there may be a little more sustainability in it. If we jump on over and check out the efficiency, again, it's pretty close to the top in its class with 0.23 joules per megahash. AlphaPex DG2, which is due to be released soon, all the way up at 0.17, so that's leagues above. But as we can see at around the 0.23, it keeps pace with some of the larger hash rate units like the D1, you know, and the L9. So a super efficient miner when comparing it to some of the older versions, meaning it should stay profitable for longer, depending on any huge hash rate surges. Now looking at price, currently at 16 cents or thereabouts. All-time high was around 70 cents up here. So again, if you were to hold at that 16 cent point and sell at the 70 cent point, could be looking at a 4x. That $1 could be $4 if you can time it right. I again would expect it to maybe get back up to say 30, 40 cents again, putting it at around, you know, a sort of $2 per day profit, hopefully long into the future. But again, you've got to take your own risks with this sort of stuff and do your research and decide at what point you wanted to sell, if at any. So that will wrap it up, guys. 4 different miners, 4 different algorithms, all with varying profitability, all with varying longevity. So it's up for you to decide. And let me know down in the comments, if you had to pick one of these and the budget wasn't an issue, what would you pick? Now, your first thought might be the AE0, it's making the most money, but how long will it be making that much money for is the question. Or would you rather go for something that's a bit more tested as far as hash rate, like Dogecoin or Ethereum Classic? Let me know down in the comments, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you want more crypto mining content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.